All right, everybody. Thought I'd do an impromptu video. I'm going to do a tour of my shop at home, all right, so you can see what I do, what I have done in the past, all the tools that I have, and my setup. Give you an idea a little bit more about Mr. Witt, all right? So here we go. I'm going to open the door. All right, here we are. It's a two-car garage. This is my workshop. All right, we're gonna step down in here. I'm gonna say hi to Ranger. Ranger's very nervous. He doesn't know what's going on. All right. So this is my shop. Like I said, two-car garage. All right. We'll go over everything a little bit at a time here. All right. So start right here. This is the door to outside to the backyard. All right. It's been raining all day. It's nighttime now. That goes out to my backyard. All right. It's usually nice to have the door open in the summer. All right. In the spring, get the light in. We got a nice heater for the winter. So something probably didn't talk about in class. Got to keep the shop a little bit warm. Okay, glue, depending on the type of glue, doesn't work below certain temperatures. I know the Type Bond 3 says 47 degrees. Some other glues might be higher. They're just not going to work if it's too cold. So we try to keep it a little bit cool in here. Don't want to waste too much money heating the shop up. All right. Here's my wall of clamps, and yeah, it's a lot of clamps. And the typical woodworker joke is you never have enough clamps, and it's true. You know, you're always wanting to have more clamps. Okay, all different kinds of sizes, all different types. Through all the years, I've just been collecting all different kind of clamps, for all different types of situations. All right. Here's my drill press, floor standing drill press right here. Okay. Nothing too fancy. Got a nice little table with a fence. Alright, I can use this fence to do some kind of, adjustments, repeatable actions, set up some jigs. Okay. Fairly light duty, but it works plenty well for anything I need to do. I inherited this from my father-in-law when they were moving down to Florida. He gave this to me, so thank you for that. It's been a real workhorse. All right. So this machine, this beast right next to it, right here, this is my thickness planer. Okay. This is a 90s era jet 15-inch planer. It can handle 15-inch wide wood. It's 3 horsepower, so this thing can really eat up some wood. Really strong, really powerful. It's a beast. It's really heavy too. Transporting it was rough. Okay. This is a very typical for these size planers. They're all made typically the same way. All right. This is my up and down height action here. Okay. These gauges right here normally should tell you how close you are to how thick the wood should be. Right, they're not always that accurate. All right, but I have this guy on wheels because I don't use them all the time. But when I need them, I just pull him out, put him in the middle of the room. I hook up my dust collector to it, and I get this guy and I do a bunch of boards. And I can kind of see inside here. Okay, right here there's a roller right here where my finger is. That grabs onto the boards and rolls it and feeds it through. Right here with this orange piece of metal here, right behind that are the blades that spin really, really fast and are really sharp. And that's what planes the wood down. Okay, so that's how basically how a planer works. A lot bigger than the one we have. But like I said, don't use it that much, but when it does a really good job. All right. Here's my bandsaw. All right, a little bit on the smaller side, smaller power. I think it's a 1 horsepower bandsaw. Again, does what I need it to do. Don't use it too often, but it's nice to flip on every once in a while to make a quick cut. All right. So Grizzly 14-inch. All right. I can cut some pretty tall pieces of wood if I need to. All right. So that's my bandsaw. All right. So I'm going to start here and keep continuing over past the clamps. And this is just my big wall of random tools, hand tools, screwdrivers, screw guns. I got my levels over there, my battery chargers, some chisels, hammers. All right, I'm trying to keep it organized as much as I can. All right, for you guys in my classes, my students, you may or may not recognize some of this, but these are the old box projects. People leave me with their old boxes. I repurpose them, make little organizers out of them. Right, these are the old box projects, and I just made a nice storage container out of it. Keep drill bits, driver bits. I should really label it, but I haven't gotten a chance to yet. All right, so this bad boy over here, it's my miter saw. I just got this, bought it for my birthday last summer. All right, it's a Makita 10-inch slider. All right, really, really nice. I really like it. A little bit of a wood nerd like that, or tool nerd. All right, you can see right here, it slides all the way out. All right, it'll bevel. All right, some really good crown stops. I got a good clamp here. All right, it's a really precision piece of machinery. All right, what I really, really like about this saw, and the reason I bought it, is you see this big dust shroud over here right behind the blade. And there's one right underneath the blade here too. It really picks up a lot of dust. Doesn't pick it up all of it, not all the sawdust, but it picks up a lot of the sawdust that you're making when you're cutting. And as you can see here, it also has a good dust collection system here that I can hook up to a vacuum, which I have. Hooked up to a vacuum. It's all the way up here on a shelf above the saw. All right, I've got this vacuum hooked up to the dust separator. And for you guys in my class, you've seen a lot of these. We have 2 of these on our miter station. We have one on our sanding station. What that does is it collects a lot of the dust before it gets to the shop vac, before it gets to the vacuum. Maybe like 95% or more of the dust goes into that bucket before it gets to the shop vac. Because if you guys have ever had any experience, once the shop vac starts sucking up a lot of dust, it really loses a lot of power. You're burning out the motor. It becomes much less effective as soon as that filter gets clogged. When you have one of these hooked up, that filter stays pretty clean for a long time. You don't have to worry about cleaning that up very often. So that's why I have that hooked up there. Okay, that's my dust collection system, and that's just totally dedicated to the miter saw. All right, and this little box right here is the control box by IVAC, and I have the saw plugged into here and the vacuum plugged into here, and it only operates the vacuum when the saw is turned on and for a couple seconds when it's turned off. So you're only using the vacuum really when you need it. And that's really convenient. It's a nice little setup to have. A lot of wires, but you know. So that's my miter saw station. All right. Got some more random tools. I've been slowly going through and organizing everything, but doesn't look that organized right now. All right, some more little tool bins, little clamps, and then this is just a big wall of wood here. All right, I have a lot of old reclaimed barnwood, a lot of scraps, a lot of black walnut at the top, and some old white oak. A lot of it is reclaimed. Really, really old wood, stuff that you really can't get in the store. Okay, if you can take a look at some of this barnwood, it's just some really old, funky stuff. Looks pretty good. If you're looking at that, you like that kind of rustic look. And I've got some white oak at the top for thicker boards, some walnut. All right, we'll slide over here. This is my table saw. All right. It's very similar to one of the ones we have in our shop. It's a Delta. Okay. 3 horsepower. Got this one used. All right. It looks a little weird here for some of you guys who haven't seen this, but this is my crosscut sled that I use a lot on my saw when I'm doing large pieces of wood or large plywood panels and I want to do a lot of crosscuts. Use this crosscut sled and put it into here. And this is, I can make crosscuts on the table saw very safely. And what's nice too, I can do a stop block very easily. I've got my ruler, it's fairly accurate here, but I always double check my measurements. But this makes repetitive cuts when you're doing a lot of cabinet panels. This makes it real nice and easy. Okay, that would be the normal fence, the normal rip fence that we have on the saw for any typical rip cuts. All right, I would put that on in the place of the crosscut sled. I would take that off and I'd put this on for doing my rip cuts. That's the typical fence there. So these outfeed rollers, I've got my outfeed table. All right. There's my compressor. That's an air compressor. Whenever I need compressed air for air guns, blowing things off, cleaning things off, paint sprayers, nail guns, whatever needs compressed air, that's helping me out. Fill my car tires. All right, that's an oldie but a goodie. Pretty dirty. All right, this is my dust collector here. All right, it's a vacuum system basically. I could turn it on by remote control. It's got a filter to filter out most of the dust. All right, that's hooked up to, you can follow the hoses that's hooked up to the table saw over there. All right, and this goes up and over. All right, down to my table saw blade guard. It also sucks in from the blade guard. I also have it hooked up to my router table over here. This is just this small area here where the table saw was, is where my shop started off. There was a wall right here where this drywall ends and where this pipe is. There's a support column, and right across was a wall, went right across to the other side there. That was just my shop. The rest was a recording studio that I had. But now this whole place is my shop now. So I started tearing down walls. All right, this is my router table, again with the dust collection. I really try to focus on trying to have dust collection on everything. It's healthier, safer, a lot cleaner in the shop. That's my router table. All right, the router is inside here, which helps with the dust collection. All right. And if you guys recognize this at all, you kind of have one of these at the shop. This is the rabbiting jig we used, or the rabbiting sled. This is my homemade version. I made that myself, but the one we have in the shop is a store-bought one. Same function. I use this guy a lot when I make cabinet doors. All right, and I use that with the router table. All right, so this crazy guy right here. All right, saying, what is this thing? Well, it's basically a big fancy vacuum. All right, so for all of my smaller power tools, all right, this is my dust collection system. Okay, this is a tool manufacturer right here called Festool. They come out of Germany, make a whole line of tools, professional tools. I am a big fan of their stuff. They have a very good HEPA filter vacuum here. Another dust separator. This takes all the chips out of it before it gets to the vacuum. Okay. It's on wheels. I can wheel this anywhere in my shop. This helps me keep me from having the tube dragging on the ground or dragging over a workpiece, so it keeps it nice and high up in the air. Okay, and what's really nice about Festool products here. Here's one of my sanders, a Festool sander. Okay, is all of their components are all set up so they can use this vacuum. Very interchangeable. Everything has dust collection. Everything's real high end. Works really nice. Good quality tools. They're expensive, but in my opinion, they're very well worth it, especially for the dust collection. Very easy to hook up, switch tools back and forth, whatever sanders that I need. All right, every one of their tools. Okay, even this one right here. This is my Domino Jointer. This has dust collection built in. Hose hooks right up to it. No problems with dust with this. Okay, the Domino Jointer. This is like a biscuit joiner and a doweling system at the same time. These are called dominoes. They kind of look like dominoes. Okay, this tool right here will cut these type of holes into your work pieces. Okay, and when you insert the dominoes, all right, you have the holes, the pieces pop together just like Legos. Really strong. They're called loose tenons. All right, perfect with alignment if you're paying attention to what you're doing. Makes joinery really easy. So it's a really good tool there. We do not have one of those in our shop. They're a little expensive, but very useful. I use this thing all the time. Right, more Festool stuff. Another Festool sander. Again, hooking up the dust collection right here. It's a very interchangeable system. Some of you guys may never seen something like this before. Okay, this is called a track saw. This is also by Festool. All right, it's just turning into a Festool commercial here, but I just want to show you. This is a circular saw. Okay, and what it does is this also has dust collection right here. Okay, I can set my depth of cut, and this track will give me a perfectly straight cut, just like a table saw. When you are on a job site and you don't have room for a table saw, okay, you have your saw blade right here. All right, this comes down and cuts your workpiece. All right, this track stays right on top of the workpiece, and I run my saw right along the track. Nice and straight, perfectly clean cuts, again with the dust collection. Okay, really, really nice tool there. All right. So I'll turn around, got a lot more junk hanging around. I've got an air cleaner up here. This tries to help keep a lot of the dust out of the air. All right, some ladders, get some router bits on this wall, more chairs. All right, a lot of junk here. Okay, stains, polys, paints, cleaners, glues. Okay, I've collected a lot of things over the years. All right, these are a lot of smaller hand tools, smaller saws, things I would just throw in my truck to do a job for the day or two, drills, other specialized hand tools. I have some more Festool stuff down here. All these nice neat containers. I've got a jigsaw, a router, some more sanders. All right, but this is just a big tool wall. I got some nail guns, sandpaper, all kind of stuff stored over here. And over here we got, let me turn this light on. This was that shower bench I've been working on. You guys kind of saw it in the one video where I showed you the step-by-step instructions on it. Still got a little bit of sanding left to do on it, but it's pretty much done. Ready to get some oil finish on it. So I'm working on that. Here, got another wall full of wood here. Again, a lot of reclaimed beams. That wood here is for a job I'm going to start soon. It's called Paulownia wood, made for the outdoors. A lot of old barn beams. I like collecting wood like that, old stuff. Okay, I'll have always have some poplar on hand for quick projects, things that need to get painted. But then you see these nice old barn beams here. All right. Got a lot of these out of a dumpster in Philadelphia about 6 years ago, all for free. There's a couple $100 worth of wood here that I got for free, and it was hot. It was a July day. It was rough. All right. But got a lot of wood stacked up here. And when we're looking at here is a shutter. This is a job I'm getting ready to get started on. I'm going to replace a bunch of shutters in somebody's house. This is just rotted. This is what water does to wood and insects when you don't take care of it, or when you use the wrong type of wood. I'm going to be remaking these shutters for somebody, but not the same style. I'm not going to do these slats. I'm going to do a different style that's a lot easier. But you guys might see me do a video on this, working in my shop. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to build these shutters. I think it'll be pretty interesting. But that's basically it, guys. This is the shop. 2-car garage. Pretty typical. Lots of stuff, lots of jigs hanging on the walls. Alright. A miter station. And clamps. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed the little tour. Alright. And I will see you guys or talk to you guys soon. Alright. Take care.